Welcome to our lecture online. So now let's do a more numerical example of what we saw in the previous video. Again, it's a relationship between microscopic probability and microscopic interpretation of entropy. So in other words, if we have a certain number of combinations that can occur in a certain situation, certain system, how many macrostates are there, how many microstates are there, and what is the probability of each macrostate? So to illustrate that, we have a box that contains 10 atoms. The atoms are free to move around. And so at any one moment in time, how many atoms will be on the left side of the box and how many atoms will be on the right side of the box? Now the most likely scenario, which is a scenario which has the highest entropy, is where you would have an equal number on both sides. That's the most likely scenario, the one that has the highest probability of occurrence, and that would then represent the highest entropy state of the system. It is less likely to find all of them on one side and none of them on the other side, although that could happen if you have 10 atoms in a box. Probability is fairly small. So I calculated the probability of having all of them on one side and none on the other side, and that probability is about 0.1%. Now the probability of having 5 in each side, that is almost a quarter, 24.6%. So how do we calculate that? Well, here's the general equation. For a number on one side of the box, n being anywhere from 0 to 10, the probability is this expression right here, which is essentially 10 factorial divided by 10 minus n factorial divided by n factorial multiplied times 0.5 to the n power and 0.5 to the 10 minus n power. Now, why 0.5 in each case is because there's a 50-50 chance that one atom will either be in one side or on the other side. Of course, if we were to divide the box in more areas, then this would probably, well, not probably, this would certainly change. But in this case, in a simplistic case, that's what it would look like. So in the case when they're all on one side and none on the other, we have 10 and 0, in other words, 10 factorial divided by 0 factorial divided by 10 factorial, which is equal to 1. 0.5 to the 0 power is 1, and 0.5 or 1/2 to the 10 power is equal to that number, which is almost to 1%. What does it look like? Have 1 on one side and 10 on the other side? Well, that would be 10 factorial divided by 9 factorial divided by 1 factorial times 0.5 to the 10 power. It always will be 0.5 to the 10 power, so that ends up being almost 1%. For 2 on one side and 8 on the other side, the probability then is calculated to be 10 factorial divided by 8 factorial divided by 2 factorial times 0.5 to the 10 power, and that's already more than 4%. And finally, the 50-50 situation, notice we have 10 factorial divided by 5 factorial divided by 5 factorial times 0.5 to the 10 power, which is 24.6%. If you don't remember what factorials are, for example, 5 factorial, that is equal to 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, which is 120. 10 factorial, we can calculate on a calculator, it's a very big number, but at least that's how we calculate the factorials in case you don't remember. But anyway, that is how we do it. That is how we find the probability of each macrostate. Each combination, of course, is very, very many microstates, because in each macrostate you have very many combinations of which one molecule will be on which side and which one molecule will be on the other side. So if we give each molecule a name, then of course we need to keep track of them, and then there's many more possibilities, but overall the probability of the macrostates is calculated like this, and that is how it's done.